How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're back, and instead of taking the usual Fireball Rocket League army into Legends, I thought I'd try out the new event troop, the Yeeter. As you can see, this is the army, and I'll leave the army link in the description of the video for anyone who would like to copy it and try it out for themselves. But overall thoughts, it's actually a very strong army, and it kind of reminds me of the Fireball Super Witch army I used to run at Town Hall 16. At least, that's the way I've been playing this Yeeter army, and it's very strong. The Yeeter itself is actually a lot stronger than the thrower, and it's a lot faster, as you'll see in today's attacks. And yeah, I tried it out twice in friendly challenges before going into Legends, and actually it worked very well, so I took it into Legends and got a perfect day. So yeah, without any further ado, let's just dive right into the attacks. Oh, and right before we begin, I want to give a shout out to KD, who is a teammate of mine. He played for the same esports team as I have. Very good player. He has a YouTube channel, and I'll have it linked in the description of this video. He primarily plays Zaplalo on it, but for this season he'll be switching over to Twin Hogs. So yeah, be sure to check him out. He also offers coaching for Zaplalo if any of you guys are interested in that. And yeah, having said that, let's just dive right into the video. Alright, so this was actually the first base that I found, and actually it was quite confusing. I was not sure what to do about this, but well, as usual, I would fireball the Invis compartment if I was doing fireball Rocketlands, but as I said, you would play this army the same as you would with Super Witches, and with Super Witches you're just basically aiming to get a relatively easy fireball onto a chunk of defenses. If you can get some good value, like in this case you could get the entire Rage compartment basically, go for it. But yeah, the main point of the fireball is to get the funnel set up. So that's what I do here. Obviously not going to be running a jelly on this type of warden charge, but I do have to stay a little bit patient here in order to make sure that the funnel is completely set up. I don't really want my Yeeters to go around, so in this case I set up Queen nice and early, keeping an eye out on the Warden as well. And well, the plan for the Invis compartment, in this case, as I had with Super Witches way before Town Hall 16, I would basically log launch, just like so. And I would pre-trigger that Invis, and I'm gonna open up that dead space around that Invis compartment. That's the goal, and hopefully the Yeeters actually go into the base. If you pre-trigger the Invis early enough, they're not going to have any issues, as long as the pathing is obviously set up well enough. But yeah, as you can see, the King goes in, pop the King ability right in the core, very good value. The Queen is doing her thing. I actually did not bring a Furnace in this attack, but I later just gemmed up the remaining timer on the barracks, and I started bringing it. It's actually a very good funneling troop, so I would definitely recommend it instead of one baby dragon. But in this case, also I'm using RC on the back end, just like you would with Super Witches. And in this case, I ran a Rocket Spear, but I later changed to Hogs because I think it's just a better synergy between the equipments and the army itself. So next up we have this monstrosity of a base, and looking at it, I'm kind of having a similar plan as with the first attack. I'm basically, since I can't fireball the Invis compartment, I'm basically just gonna fireball the Rage compartment, which actually gets even more value in my opinion, because you're taking out the Clan Castle, you're taking out the Rage Tower, the Inferno, the X-Bow, and the multi-arch tower, and also you damage the heroes. So I mean, that fireball gets a crazy amount of value, and the plan is sort of fireball that, establish a funnel, and then have the Warden go left. That's kind of what you would do with the Witches, and same goes for these new event troops. Basically, fireball, set up a nice funnel. Here I'm using furnaces, or just one furnace, to set up a funnel. And yeah, in this case I actually add the Barbarian King to funnel as well, because yeah, this base is a bit wacky, and it requires a huge funnel. So having the king go into the core would make no sense. So I just place him on the outside to make the funnel. And yeah, the log launcher actually gets the walls opened up, which is perfect. And I have some of these Yeeters go into the core of the base, which is great. And I'm also just going to jump them out of the base as well into this arch tower, just like so. And going to send the RC for back-end cleanup, making sure you rage the healers as well, just like you would with the Super Witch army. You would try to place your rages so that your healers take advantage of the rage spell. That way you're able to keep up your witches or your event troops up. But yeah, we get this one done, and yeah, we'll move on to the next hit. So we finally get a decent, I mean, a more normal looking base. And actually this one doesn't really have that much fireball value. If you look at it, I mean, I fireballed the air defense. Maybe I should have just gone for the X-bow. I fireballed the air defense at 6 o'clock, precisely. So I start the warden at 6, and I fireball the air defense. Probably if I invis the air defense and the ricochet cannon, I would have gotten the X-bow, which would be much better value. Would have gotten the mono. But this fireball, I mean, you'll just see. It's just a quick, easy fireball, not necessarily going for value. Just plainly for pathing. So I want the warden to go left. I've already set up a furnace on the left side. As you can see, it's doing a bit of work. And yeah, I lure the warden over with the Yeeters and place siege barracks into, I mean, placing siege barracks into a ricochet cannon is probably not the best move. As you can see, the P.E.K.K.A.s don't really stand a chance against it. But yeah, just spamming in the healers and the normal balloons to test for the seeking air mines. At this point, as long as you place the spells correctly, so you see I freeze over the raged up defenses in order to preserve the health of the troops in the core that are fighting the CC at the moment. Just continuously freeze them over, and also you have Invis spells, which are just as good as freeze spells, if not better, if you use them in the core. So basically just burning Invis spells on these new event troops, and yeah, you'll see the mono doesn't really stand a chance as well, because the Yeeters can reach over and grab it as well. And yeah, just sending the RC as I would with the Super Witches. This time I do have the Hog Puppet activated, and yeah, as I said, the Hog Puppet is just a good combination to use with the Royal Champion if you're using a Smash army, so like anything like E-Titan Smash or Fireball Super Witches, or in this case Fireball Yeeters. It's just a good equipment to have, and it synergizes very well with armies that, as you can see, can tank for the Royal Champion. But yeah, we get the triple, and let's move on to the next attack. So this base actually caused quite a few issues for me. Firstly, looking at it, you want to fireball one of the rage tower or one of the Invis towers. At least fireball a defense inside of that is going to take out the Invis tower. That's what I mean. And in this case, I set up a flame flinger at 6 o'clock to set up a funnel, and also behind it I dropped a furnace, which is going to help out as well. Setting up the warden, fireballing the wizard tower, which honestly is probably not a wise move, because what ends up happening is, as you can see, there's an inferno left, and that inferno is actually going to cause quite a few issues, or could potentially cause quite a few issues with the healers. The Yeeters actually cannot reach it, so the range of the Yeeter is 4 tiles, as I assume, It's not. There's a 5 tile gap in between the wall and the Inferno, so the Yeeter is not going to reach it. So that's something else to keep in mind. And yeah, I sent the Queen. I should have used the Siege Barracks instead of the Flame Flinger. The Flame Flinger is just going to follow the Queen here, and is just going to get barely any value, honestly. So that was definitely a mistake on my part. But as you can see, yeah, this Inferno is not reachable, and once I realize that it's not reachable, I send my RC there because I have to keep the healers alive. Plus, I have to secure the Town Hall, and well, the pathing is actually quite nice for the Royal Champion towards the Town Hall, so it's kind of a win-win in this point. At this point, but as you can see, the Yeeters are still alive, which is great. But the army has kind of run out of steam. I have to time this invisibility here as the RC comes out of the Spirit Fox invisibility. That was very clutch. And freezing over the enemy heroes. As you can see, the Hog Puppet actually came in quite nicely in that case. It kind of tanked a little bit for the Royal Champion, which was great. But at this point, everything is dead, right? You have, well, a couple of super minions that are about to die, but you have these two Yeeters, which are a lot better than the thrower. Like, from these few attacks that I did, as you can see, the speed difference actually makes them a lot stronger. The fact that they can traverse all that distance and just get the defenses down very quickly makes them very strong, at least a lot stronger than the thrower troop itself. And yeah, luckily we get the triple this time. Alright, so for this base, I don't think I have to explain that where you have to fireball here, or where you should fireball, should I say, because you could probably avoid fireballing that CC compartment and still get the triple with this troop, but yeah, I mean, going for the ricochet cannon makes perfect sense, right? You have every heavy damage defense stacked in one space, in one compartment, so you gotta fireball it. And yeah, for this one you have to stay a little bit patient. You obviously don't want to be invising too early because yeah, this might happen. You have to stay a little bit patient and make sure that there's no Teslas that might pop up in the last second. And yeah, we get nice Tesla pull right before we fireball, so that's nice. But also you have to stay a little bit patient so that the warden actually hits on a non-defensive building. Here I actually get a Skelly Trap pull, which is great. Stalls my warden up just enough for me to deliver the fireball. And yeah, the plan yet again is quite similar. You just place the furnace to funnel your queen and your siege barracks, right? And you stay patient here with the warden to take out that ricochet cannon. Once the funnel is fully established, just yeet in your yeeters and place in the ice golem, all that stuff. King, queen, and yeah, at this point there's nothing a base can really do. As you can see, like I just wall break the queen into that compartment just so that she can continue and join in with the push. Sending in a headhunter for the king as well. Small detail. But yeah, this backhand stands absolutely no chance. Like, I think I could have swagged an RC at this point. I mean, I wanted to kind of save time and not just beat around the bush waiting to swag the RC, so I just used her at the bottom anyways. But honestly, I didn't need her. But saying that, the base was kind of trash, not gonna lie. Like, it was just begging to be fireballed, so yeah, we'll move on to the next attack. Alright, Alright, so for the final base, this base is actually quite similar to the first one. It's similar style at least, and the plan is going to be pretty much the same. I'm going to fireball the multi-inferno, and I'm going to have the warden go either top or bottom side, depending on, yeah, wherever he goes, it doesn't really matter. And I'm going to log launch the Invis compartment, as I did in the first attack. Here you have to be very careful, because you're invising and there's no buildings around for the warden to stick onto, so he's going to dive into the base. And in this case I had to freeze over that minion prince, because that minion prince was going to take out my warden very quickly if I didn't do that. It was raged up, so yeah, had to be very careful there. I do place a furnace, and honestly I think it was a bit late. I think it's better to place it right at the start of the attack, so it sets up a nice funnel, because, well, it's going to stay up for a while anyway. But here I send the log launcher, and unfortunately it gets targeted by the mono, which isn't great because it does not open up the two walls that I wanted it to open up. So in order to adjust for that, I send in two wall breakers to try to wall break my Yeeters into the core of the base. The king also went around, which isn't ideal. It's not the worst thing that can happen. I mean, having the king in the core would have obviously helped, but as long as I can keep the main pack alive, and I'm going to send the RC just to make sure that they don't go around. If I can keep them alive, it doesn't really matter. And as you can see, there isn't that much that can stop the attack at this point. We just rage up the Yeeters and we just basically let them go around the base and take out the rest of the defenses.